In this season, more than any other season, it is important that we understand the supremacy and sovereignty of God and that of His Christ as we seek to reveal the corporate Son in the earth. Concerning Christ, we must understand His supremacy. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation. For all things in heaven and on earth were created by Him, and all things, whether visible or invisible, whether thrones or dominions, whether principalities or powers, all things were created through Him and for Him. He Himself is before all things, and all things are held together in Him. He is the head of the body, the church, as well as the beginning of the firstborn from among the dead, so that He Himself may become the first in all things. Today we must know that concerning the supremacy of His wisdom, He has never been counseled by any individual, as He is all-knowing. He's the very epitome of wisdom. He has never been perplexed by any problem whatsoever. There is yet a problem to be created, which in His divine wisdom He cannot solve. There is yet a theory or an equation that goes beyond His ability to reason and answer. He is the all-knowing God. Concerning the supremacy of His power, we know that He is all-powerful. He walks on water. He cleanses the lepers. He opens the blind eyes. He calms the storms. He raises the dead. He turns water into wine. By His blood, He says, you are reconciled with the Father. We have, because of His power, the spirit of adoption which we have received through Him, and the assurance that we can cry out, Abba, Father. Therefore we must know the supremacy of His Word, because in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It was the very word that He spoke when He said, let there be light, and there was light. It is His Word which is the final arbiter of all things. It is He who has the final say. Yes, He has the final say. It is He who said to the snow, remain in my storehouse till I have need of you. It is by His word that He said to the waters, so far and no further. It was His word that said to death, death, I take away your victory. I hold all things in the power of my word. He speaks a word and demons flee. He speaks a word and propels you into destiny. He speaks a word and immediately liberty and freedom comes. It is His word that upholds the universe. It is the supremacy of His word that completed all things when He said, it is finished. It is finished. It is finished, and all things were made perfect. We must know the supremacy of His patience. He is a loving Father that stands at the gate and waits for His sons and daughters to return. It is the supremacy of His patience that would allow His Son to die for us while we were yet sinners. It is His patience that waits for us when we turn left to come and turn right. We must understand that it is the supremacy of His grace that gives to dead rebels like you and I life, that justifies the ungodly with His own righteousness, that lavishes all things upon us even though we don't deserve it. It is His grace that pours out unto us and that does not withhold all good things from us. He is infinitely admirable in everything and over everything, supreme over all the galaxies and over all the mountains. He is the sovereign and supreme ruler of all things. Because it is His breath in our lungs. It is His breath in the respiratory system of every creature. He is supreme over all sickness, over cancer, AIDS, coronavirus, Ebola, TB, arthritis, meningitis, sinusitis. There is nothing that He cannot heal, nothing that He cannot deliver you from, and nothing that He is not able of restoring. And So we must understand the supremacy of His restorative power. We must know that the power of His restoration takes the broken and makes them whole, takes the orphan and places them in the family, take those that were afar off and says to them, you are mine, you are accepted, you are loved, you are my son, in you I am well pleased. We must in this season understand that it is by His sovereignty that He allows feeble man like you and I to become part of His end-time kingdom purpose, to reveal Himself as the supreme and sovereign ruler, the Ancient of Days, the Lord strong and mighty. I pray for you today. I pray that you will know Him in His supremacy and sovereignty.